Hi children, how are you all? Hope all of you keeping safe at home. We know the condition is getting severe day by day. Uh, Many places it is locked down, and in many wards, panchayat, many roads were blocked already. And day by day the COVID cases are increasing, and so we have to be very careful. Uh, take all your safety measures, and most of the time stay at home, don't go outside. And you know that we are having the pre-midterm exam by the first week of August, so if you hardly 1 week is there, so you have to be prepared well for the exam. For our exam, the first chapter will be there, and today what we are going to take, that portion also will be there. Before coming into the portion, I would like to take you to the first chapter. In the first chapter, we have studied, did you remember what? The place value system, international place value system, Indian place value system, and Roman numeral system. That all things we discussed, we learned last few classes. And in this chapter, we were studying about the whole numbers and the properties of whole numbers. We already finished commutative property and closure property, and today we are going to see what is distributive property, what is associative property, and properties of 0 and 1, that is identity property. That all the things we are going to discuss today. So during our exam, all these portions will be there, so start revising your portions now itself. Now we are going to the portion, and it is associative property. Next property we are going to see today is associative property. So let us move to the class. There we will discuss, I will explain you in detail, and we will see some problems, how to use these properties to solve the problems in all numbers. Okay, let us start the next portion, that is 9th part of our online classes. Before that, just revise what we have discussed last class. During the last session, we were learning what is the property, the commutative property, the closure property, that type of properties in the set of whole numbers. So today we are going to see the next property, that is associative property. Associative property. Associative, another name is the grouping property. In the case of closure property and commutative property, we were discussing only two whole numbers with the operators. But here in the case of associative property, we are considering three numbers. Suppose three whole numbers, A, B and C. You know the set of whole numbers are, what are the set of whole numbers? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Out of this whole numbers, if you take any three whole number, it can be A, B or C. A can be any of this number, B can be any of this number, C also can be any of this whole numbers. If you consider any three whole numbers A, B and C, according to the associative property with respect to addition, addition means plus, finding the sum. Whenever we are finding the sum of any three whole numbers, you can group them in any way. That is what is associative property. That is A plus B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. A plus B plus C. This is what is called associative property. What does it mean? I will explain you with the example. We know that if there is a bracket, we have to do what is there inside the bracket first and the rest of operations later. So A plus B plus C. So here we are adding B and C first. Here we are adding A and B first. But the final sum will be same always. That is what is associative property. So let us take an example. In the place of A, B, C, we can take three whole numbers 2, 3 and 4. 2, 3 and 4, three whole numbers. Then if you consider the operation addition, we can say that 2 plus 3 plus 4. 2 plus 3 plus 4. Here 3 plus 4 inside the bracket is equal to 2 plus 3 plus 4. Here 2 plus 3 is inside the bracket. Now to solve in the next step, 2 plus, you have to do what is inside the bracket first. 3 plus 4, 7 is equal to 2 plus 3, 5. Here 2 plus 3 is inside the bracket. Then plus 4. Now look at the sum. 2 plus 7, 9. 5 plus 4, 9. So in the case of addition, if you take any three whole numbers, you can group them in any order. In any order you add them, the sum will be the same. So that property is called the associative property in the set of whole numbers with respect to addition. So addition is associative. Is it clear? The example. You can check with some other example yourself. Now let us see what about the multiplication. Addition we already saw. Addition is associative. Let us check multiplication. We will change here. Multiplication. If you consider these three whole numbers, then instead of addition, now we are checking with the multiplication. According A into B into C is equal to A into B into C. Let us check with this example. That is, in the place of A we can take 2. 2 into 3 into 4 is equal to 2 into 3 into 4. Let us check whether it is same or not. So first 2 into 3 into 4. 3 into 4 is 12. That is in the bracket, so we have to do that first. So 3 4s are 12, we know. And here 2 3s are 6 into 4. Now 2 12s. 2 into 12, 24. Here also we are getting 6 into 4, 6 4, 24. So we can conclude that multiplication is also associative in the set of whole numbers. That means if you take any three whole numbers A, B or C, A, B and C, then A into B into C is equal to A into B into C. You can multiply them in any order. If you group them in any order and multiply, the result will be the same. And also you can say that this will be equal to A into C into B also. Suppose if you are multiplying A and C first and then B you are multiplying, then also the result will be the same. You can check A and C, that means 2 into 4, 8. 8 into 3, 24. 8 3s are 24. So when you are multiplying any three whole numbers, you can group them in any way and you multiply, the result will be the same. So addition and multiplication associative in the set of whole numbers. Now see the remaining two operations. What are the remaining two operations? The remaining two operations are subtraction and division. Subtraction, let us check. Subtraction means finding the difference or minus. This is subtraction. Subtraction, in case of subtraction, 3 minus 2. What is 5 minus 3 minus 2? Whether it is equal to 5 minus 3 minus 2 or not. Here 5 minus 3 minus 2. What is 3 minus 2? Inside bracket we have to do first. 3 minus 2 is 1. 5 minus 1. Here 5 minus 3. 5 minus 3. 2. Then minus 2. So 5 here, this side 5 minus 1. That will be 4. 2 minus 2. 0. That means this is not equal. 5 minus 3 minus 2 is not equal to 5 minus 3 minus 2. If you regroup or if you change the group or change the order in that numerical equation, the answer will be different. So here we are getting 4 and here 0. 4 is not equal to 0. So subtraction is not associative with respect to whole numbers. And so generalize, we can write a minus b minus c is not equal to a minus b minus c. In case of subtraction, a minus b minus c is not equal to a minus b minus c. Therefore, it is not associative. If subtraction is given, you can subtract the order in which it is given. So, subtraction is not associative. Addition, multiplication we already saw, it is associative. Now see the next operation, division. Division. This is division. In case of 3 whole numbers a, b and c, any 3 whole numbers we can take. Let us take 4, 6, 4 and 2. 3 whole numbers 6, 4 and 2. Let us check how can we divide this. See, 6 divided by 4 divided by 2. Whether it is equal to 6 divided by 4 divided by 2 or not. How can we check this? First inside the bracket. So 6 divided by 4 divided by 2 is 2. 4 divided by 2, quotient is 2. Is equal to 6 divided by 4. Is it possible? 6 divided by 4. When you divide, here 2 and here 3. Cancel, common terms, common factors cancel. 6 is equal to 2 into 3 and 4 is equal to 2 into 2. From that this 2 and here 2 is cancelled, remaining 3 by 2. When you simplify the lowest term, it is 3 by 2. So 6 by 4 is 3 by 2 divided by 2. 3 by 2 divided by 2. In this case, here 6 divided by 2 is 3. We know here this side it is 3. But here 3 divided by 2 divided by 2. That means it is 3 divided by 2. This 2 also will be in the denominator. So this side it is 3 divided by 4. So this is not equal, isn't it? Here on the left hand side we got 3, on the right hand side 3 divided by 4. So we can conclude that in case of division, a divided by b divided by c is not equal to a divided by b divided by c See, in both cases we will get different answers, different quotient. So division is not associative in the set of whole numbers. That's all about associative property. So in case of associative property, it is also called a grouping property, and associative property means grouping three numbers, and in case of associative property, division and subtraction not satisfies associative property, but addition and multiplication satisfies associative property. Now next property is a different property. So far we were discussing about all the properties with the one at a time, one operation, either addition, multiplication, division or subtraction. But next property is distributive property. Distributive property. In case of distributive property, we are not discussing only one operation, two operations together. So distributive property, in two cases we can say that distributive property of multiplication over addition and distributive property of multiplication over subtraction. That two properties we are going to study now. Here, distributive property of multiplication over addition or into over plus. Do you understand? Any confusion in this? I will explain. That is, multiplication over addition means, suppose if three whole numbers A, B and C, if three whole numbers A, B and C, then if you are multiplying A with the sum of B and C, understood? Suppose you are multiplying three whole numbers when you are considering, if you are multiplying the first whole number with the sum of the other two whole numbers, that will be equal to the product of the first number A multiplied by the B second number, A into B and A into C, then add A into C. So when you are considering three whole numbers A, B and C, the product of first number with the sum of the next two numbers will be same as the product of first number and second number, and then the product of first number and third number, and that products we are adding, or the sum of the products of first number and second number and first number and third number. Maybe you are getting confused. I will explain you once more. A, B, C are any three whole numbers. You are multiplying A with the B plus C. That is, A into B plus C will be equal to A into B, A into B plus A into C. Here actually we are why it is called a distributive property? Because distributing means what is meant by distribution? In suppose in your class, one of your friend is having birthday. Usually there is a practice that birthday boy or girl will bring some sweets and distribute it to everyone. So one person giving it to many people, that is what is called a distribution. Here also we are distributing A to B and A to C. And here, while distributing, what actually we are doing here, it is in the case of number. So distributing means here we are multiplying. That means multiplying A with B and multiplying A with the C, and we will get two product. That two product we are adding. That is what is distributive property. A we are distributed to B, that is A into B. A we are distributing to C, that is A into then that two answers we are the two products we are adding. That is what is distributive property of multiplication over addition. Now let us check an example. Suppose in the place of a, 2 into 3 plus 4, b and c are 3 and 4. It will be equal to, let us check, 2 into 3 plus 2 into 4. Is it right or not? Let us check that. So 2 into 3 plus 4, 7. 2 into 3 plus 4, bracket we have to do first. So 2 into 7 here is equal to 2 into 3, 6, plus 2 into 4, 8. 2 sevens are 14, and here 6 plus 8, 14. Understood? So this is called the distributive property of multiplication over addition. Property of multiplication over subtraction also exists. That also we can check. In that case, in the place of addition, it will change into subtraction. That's only the difference. So here, subtraction, multiplication over subtraction. Multiplication over subtraction. So a into b minus c is equal to, what is the difference? Instead of adding, we are subtracting only. We distribute a to b and a to c, then that products, find the difference of that product. That is a into b minus c is equal to a into b minus a into c. Let us check an example. Suppose 4 into 3 minus 2. 4 into 3 minus 2 is equal to 4 into 3 minus 4 into 3 minus 4 into 2. 4 into 3, 4 into 2. Then find the difference. So here let us check. 4 into 3 minus 2 is 1. Here 4 3s are 12 and minus 4 2s are 8. 4 into 1, 4. 12 minus 8, 4. So there exists distributive property of multiplication over subtraction 2. Now, okay, this are the 4 properties we have discussed. That is, first closure property, commutative. In closure property we studied, whenever we are operating with the two whole numbers, the answer is whole number, then there exists the closure property. Then commutative property, when you are adding two whole numbers, a plus b is equal to b plus a multiply a into b is equal to b into a. But subtraction, a minus b not equal to b minus a. Division, a divided by b not equal to b divided by a. So these were the properties, and today we have learned associative property, that is 3 whole numbers. In that case also multiplication and addition satisfies associative property. Division and subtraction, associative property not satisfies. But in distributive property it was different. Combination of two operations. First one multiplication over addition, and second one multiplication over subtraction we have discussed. So these are the properties of whole numbers. Now another property of whole number is there exists an additive identity. Additive identity. Additive. What is meant by additive identity? That means, you know, the identity. Whenever we are talking about identity, everyone is having an identity. What is your identity? It may be your address, your name, your class, your person, it is related to your personality, and how people identify you, that is what is your identity. And in case of numbers, every number is having an identity. What is the identity of 0? It is nothing, an empty. 1 means, you know, 1. While counting something, this is 1 and this is, now it is 2 chalks. Like that, we know the identity. Every number is having a value. That is the identity of that number. Here, additive identity means, here there is a number. When you are adding that number with any other whole number, the identity of that whole number retains. It will not change. For example, 0 plus 1, 1. And 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 2 is equal to 2. Whenever we are adding 0 to any number, that number's identity is not changing. That identity retains. So we can call that, in the set of whole number, 0 is additive identity, an identity element. Is it clear? So 0 is called the additive identity in the set of whole numbers, because whenever we are adding 0 to any number in the whole numbers, the identity of that number will not change. The value of that number will not change. It remains the same. So that is additive identity. And there exists a multiplicative identity too. Multiplicative. Multiplicative identity. Multiplicative identity is 1, because 1 into any number in the set of whole numbers retains the value, that is that number itself. So 1 is called a multiplicative identity in the set of whole numbers. Okay, now let us see the exercise. Next exercise in your books, exercise 2b. In the first question, you have to fill in the blanks. What property is used? Use some property, fill up the blanks. The first question, 312 plus 688 is equal to dash plus 312. Which property we can use here? Commutative property, because according to the commutative property, when you add two numbers, you can add them in any order. So what number will come here? Here 312 plus 688. Here dash plus, actually order is changed. So here it will be 688. Commutative property. Any order we can add. And second question, if you look, 235 plus dash is equal to 235. B. 235 plus dash is equal to 235. Which property? Along with the 235, we are adding some number. We are getting the same number only. That means additive identity. 0 we are adding. If you add 0, the answer remains the same. So remaining the next C, question number C, distributive property. Here that we discussed already now. Here 123 into 253 plus 128 is equal to 123 into dash plus dash into 128. In this case, distributive property. Here what we are distributing, actually 123 we have to distribute. So 123 into 250. First term will be 123 into 253. So here 253. Now 123 into 128. 128 is already there. So 123 we have to write. Understood? So the remaining two questions you try yourself. You will get. And the second question, match the following. Actually here you have to say which property is used. You check yourself in the textbook and match that for exercise. And evaluate by using suitable rearrangement. That is, The next question, third question. Listen, today actually I'm thinking you have to write the notes from the board. So don't miss the portion board. What is given in the board, you have to note it down. Some examples I'm already doing on the board, that you have to note down, and remaining questions you have to do yourself. There will not be any other separate notes today. Understood? Okay. Evaluate by using suitable rearrangement. Here first question, 3a, 654 plus 345 plus 46. That is the first question. Here in this case, three numbers are there. So think of associative property. In which using these properties to solve these problems, to make it simple. So in which way we add or rearrange these numbers, we will get a simple method to add. So if you look at 654 and 46, you can add any numbers. If you add these two numbers, I think that is easy, because 4 and 6, 10. So 10 is coming, and 4 and 5, 9, and remaining 1, it will be 10. So adding 654 and 46 is easy. Mental math, we can do that. So 654 plus 46, we can rearrange it that way, and plus 345. Now if you add these two, you will get 700 and plus 345. That is easy. So 700 plus 300, 1000. 1000, then 45. 1045. That way, mental math is enough. No need to write column by column. If you are rearranging in this way, it is easy for you to do. So that is first question. Then second, third, fourth, all questions. Fourth questions I will show you. Four numbers are there. 286 plus 158 plus 842 plus 240. Here four numbers are there. Look at these numbers. In which way we can group this to make it easy to add? So 286 and 214. If you add 86 plus 14 will make 100. So I think these two we can group together, and 158 and 842. 2 and 8 makes 10. So adding this 2 is easy and this 2 is easy. You can regroup them. So 286 plus 214 first. Then 158 plus 842 next. Now you add 286, 240, 200, 400, and 86 and 14, 100. 400 plus 100, it will make 500. Plus 158, 842. Actually 58 and 42 will make 100. 8 plus 1, 900. 800 plus 100, 900, and this 100, 1000. So answer is 1500. So which way it is easy to add? Rearrange and add. That is this question. Now fourth question. Evaluate by using rearrangement, multiplication. So here one question I will do. 4a 2 into 30 into 15, which is easy to multiply. Multiplying 2 into 15 is easy. So you can write 2 into 15 first into 30. 2 into 15, 30. into 30. Now 30 into 13, actually we have to multiply 3 into 13 and add 0. 3 13s are 39 and 0. 390. In that way, look at the questions. In which way the multiplication is easy? You know that multiplying with the tens, 20s and hundreds, thousands, that type of multiplication is easy. So if there is any combination, for example 2 into 25 is there, you multiply that first, or 5 into 20, 5 into 20 100, that is easy. Then remaining number, if you want to multiply, that is easy, just adding 0 is enough. So in that way you look at the numbers and rearrange and multiply. Now fifth question, evaluate using properties of whole numbers. Fifth question, here actually we are using distributive property. 45 into 102. 45 into 102. In this, actually this number we can write as 45 into 102. Multiplying this a 3-digit multiplication, that will take so much steps. To avoid that actual multiplication, we can rewrite this 102 as 100 plus 2. So look, a into b plus c, in that form distributive property we can use. So 45 into 100, 45 into 100, then plus 45 into 2. So 45 into 100, 4500. 45 into 2, 90. Now if you add 4590, that is the answer. So this is the way. Actually what we did, we can multiply direct, but to avoid that actual multiplication, we use properties. Here some case you have to split it. So 102 is 100 plus 2. Then use distributive property, 45 into 100 plus 45 into 2. You will get this answer. Understood? And another question in that, here 123 into 356 minus 123 into 256. In this case, actually it is if you are directly multiplying this two and subtracting, it will take a long step. So to avoid that confusion, long step and complication, we can simplify it. If you look at this, 123 into 356, 123 into 256. In both, 123 is common. That you can, that is actually 123 is distributed to this and this. So that distributed number 123 we can take outside and put a bracket. Then here 356, reverse order of distributive property, and here minus 256. So distributive property of multiplication over addition, over subtraction. Here 123 is distributed to 356 and 256 and subtracted. So that 123 we take common and subtract this two. That is easy. 123 into 356 minus 256 is 100. Now it is easy. Now 123 100. So the remaining questions you look at in that way and try yourself. If any doubt, you can contact me at any time. So children, that's all for the classes today, and next week there will be no class, but exam will be there, pre-midterm exam, and you know the portion, the first chapter, very small chapter only, the numbers with the Roman numerals and Indian place value, international place value system and all. That very few questions were there that you have to do. You practice at home, and this chapter till this question number 5, second exercise. First exercise, what was the first exercise? Add, subtract, multiply, divide and all using number line, that type of things, and the properties of all numbers you have to study. This all will be there in the pre-midterm exam. So start revising today itself, and next week we will see the exam. So after this class today, there will not be any other PowerPoint notes. You have to write down the notes from the board itself, and some with the help of textbook you have to write. Okay children, all the best, study well, prepare well for the pre-midterm exam. We will see with the exam question paper next week, and half part, almost 50% of marks in the Google form, and the remaining questions I will send you as a PDF format question paper, and in that for that questions you have to write the answers in a paper neatly and write your name, class, everything, just like how you are writing the exam in an examination hall. Everything you have to write and solve the questions, and that questions photo you have to take and send it to me. As usual, there will be a class test tomorrow by 2 o'clock. Don't forget that also. Okay, have a nice day, take care, be safe at home always. Thank you.